outside. No telling what we might find. Birds calling, worms crawling, leaves falling down from above. Oh, I plant my feet on the ground. I keep my head in the clouds. I let my feelings out loud. I hear joy calling, fear crawling, tears falling down out of love.
Welcome, friends! I'm so glad you're here. My name is Mrs. A, and I am really grateful that you joined me for my first episode. The first thing I want to share with you is something that might be unfamiliar or new to you. It's right here. The zones, or zones of regulation. Do you see the 4 different colors? Blue, green, yellow, and red. The zones, or zones of regulation, are a really helpful tool that we can use when we are trying to describe or explain how we're feeling. For example, if you just woke up, you're feeling really sleepy or slow moving, you might be in the blue zone. If you are feeling really comfortable and happy and calm, you might be in the green zone. If you're feeling a little worried or anxious, then you might be in the yellow zone. Or if you're feeling really frustrated and overwhelmed, kind of wanting to stomp your feet, you might be in the red zone. Will you think for a moment about what zone you're in right now? Listen to your body. My body feels really comfortable and calm, really happy and focused. I feel in the green zone. What about you? The zones of regulation is a really great way for us to be able to describe and tell other people how we're feeling. Another great tool is my feelings poster. Let me zoom in. There are so many different feelings on there because so many of us humans feel so many feelings throughout the day. And so you can tell someone what zone you're in, and then you can also take it a step further and think, what feeling or emotion am I feeling right now? There are lots to choose from, and so it's going to take some time and some practice for you to be able to do that. What's really cool though is that if you start practicing now while you're young, you'll be really good at it as you get older. And it's something that you'll want to do all the time. You'll want to be able to think about how you're feeling and notice those feelings and probably communicate or tell them to others. The next thing I'd like to do with you is take a look at our date. For me, today, the date is September 6th, 2021. Maybe you're watching this video the same day that I'm sharing it. And so for you, it might be the same. But maybe you found this a little later in the week or a little later in the month even. And I wanted to tell you about what those numbers mean exactly. The 9 is the 9th month, September. The 6th is the 6th day. And 21 stands for our year, 2021. I like to check the date out and get familiar with the day because it helps me remember and keep track of things that I may need to do. For example, if I'm seeing my friend on the 8th day of September, I would know that I get to see them in 2 days. I also like to check on the date because it gives me a reason to move my body. I like to move my body so I can build up strong muscles and feel comfortable and get out some energy. The way I like to do it to the date is thinking of a different exercise for each number. And I actually have a friend here that helps give us some hints. This is Fig. They are showing us a move or an exercise that we could do if we'd like to. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but maybe you can think or make some guesses of what move Fig is showing. Let's start by doing 9 moves. How about jumping jacks? Do you know how to do a jumping jack? Awesome. Let's stand up and count with me as we do 9 jumping jacks. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now we need to think of 6 moves. Oh, Fig wants to help. Let's see. Fig's arms are out straight. Oh, Fig, would you like to do some arm circles? Fabulous. Arm circles are when we put our arms straight out and we move them in circles. Now you can do one arm at a time, or you can do them both at the same time. I'm going to do them both at the same time, and I'm going to make my circles going forward. You can do it however is comfortable for you. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more exercise. 21 things. Ooh, how about 21 toe touches? You can do this standing up or sitting down. What you're going to do is look at your toes and bend over to touch them. Let's do it 21 times. I'll do mine standing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, almost there, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Awesome job. Now, after I move my body a bit, my heart sometimes feels like it's beating quickly. So I like to take a few deep breaths to settle it down. You're welcome to breathe with me or to settle back into your space as you feel comfortable. Thanks so much for moving with me. Before I forget, I want to tell you a little bit more about me so you can get to know me before we get started. My name is Mrs. A, as I mentioned, and I thought it would be fun if I came up with some adjectives or describing words to tell you more about myself. And so I was thinking about 3 adjectives or describing words that start with the letter A, like my name. Here are the 3 adjectives and describing words that I picked. Adventurous, amazed, appreciative. Let me tell you more about those words. Adventurous means that I like to go out and explore and visit new places and meet new people. Amazed means that I am often in awe and so impressed with the world around me and all the people in it. And appreciative means grateful or thankful. I'm really grateful that I get to spend this time with you and that we get to learn and grow together. What are some adjectives or describing words that you can think of to describe yourself? A little bit more about me is that I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with some really special people and some really special animals. Let me show you them. This is Mr. A and I just outside by a beautiful meadow of flowers. Let's zoom in. I really like spending time outside, so that's why I wanted to share this picture with you. Mr. A and I also have 2 dogs. This is Minnie, and this is Frogger. All of us live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh is our city, and Pennsylvania is our state. but it might be hard for you to understand or imagine exactly where that is. So let me show you on a really cool map. Right here is Google Earth. And this is a really great app because it can show us everywhere in our world. Here is the continent of Africa. If I spin it around, I see the continent of Asia and Australia. If I keep spinning it, I see South America and North America. And as I said, I live in the state of Pennsylvania, and that is a state inside the United States, which is in the continent of North America. And if we look at the United States, it's a really big country. It has 50 states in it. And so I thought, if you are not in the state of Pennsylvania, or even if you are, maybe you can pretend to get buckled up into an airplane, and maybe you can fly with me to my state. Would you like to try that? Okay, get buckled up. Ready to take off? 3, 2, 1. All right, we are flying now to the state of Pennsylvania, right here. And my city, Pittsburgh, is on the western side of Pennsylvania. We're all the way on the left if you're looking at our map. As I zoom in, we're getting closer. We're about to land. I can see Pittsburgh right there. And Pittsburgh has 3 rivers that surround it, and I live right in the middle. Where do you live? What city? What state? If you're not sure, that's okay. You can ask your grown-ups and figure it out together. Thanks for looking at that map with me. Another pretty amazing person who lived in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania was Mr. Rogers. Have you ever heard of him? He had a TV show called Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and I really love how kind and how gentle and how thoughtful Mr. Rogers was. And so he is a Pittsburgher that really inspires me. Maybe there's someone from your community, from your city, from your state that really inspires you too. I'd love to hear about him. Now, the next thing I would love to do is share a message with you from my journal here. You might see it says Mrs. A's Journal. And I decorated this with a lot of things that I like, things that are special or important to me. What are some things you notice? Yeah, there's lots of things to do with the outdoors. I really love being outside, like I mentioned. There are leaves and flowers, birds and butterflies. What else do you see? There are people and brains and thoughts and ideas. I love hearing about people's ideas and seeing their creativity, so that's why I included that. Let's take a peek at the message I have for you today. Dear fantastic friends, hello! I'm so excited to share this message with you. It's my first ever episode, so I'm feeling a little nervous. Have you ever felt nervous before? It's reminding me of first day of school jitters, new kid in class stomach butterflies, or how I feel about exciting but unknown experiences. I'm also delighted at the thought of all we'll get to discover, share, and learn together. Love, Mrs. A. Have you ever felt nervous before? Nervous or worried is one of the feelings that you'd find on my poster there. It's a feeling that we all feel sometimes. Sometimes for me, it feels like butterflies are flying around in my stomach. It might feel similar or different to you. What does it feel like when you're nervous or worried? Like I said, it's really helpful to talk about our feelings and emotions. And so while I am feeling a little nervous today, I thought it would be a good idea to share a book with you that talks about a lot of different ways we might feel. It's called The Way I Feel. Now, we won't read this whole book together today. We'll just look at some parts. But I really love this book, and I would encourage you to check it out at your library or maybe buy it from your local bookstore. The Way I Feel, written and illustrated by Janin Kane. Take a peek at the cover. What are some things you notice? I see this big face. It looks like a silly face to me. I like that it's upside down. What about in the words? Did you see those eyeballs? Eyeballs are a really good clue to help us understand how other people might be feeling. I'm glad they're on the cover. The Way I Feel, written and illustrated by Janin Kane. This book is dedicated to John, Emily, and Isabella. Like I said, I'll just read a few pages to you, and then if you think that it's a book that you'd like too, you can check it out at your local library or visit a local bookstore and maybe buy it. Silly. Silly is the way I feel when I make a funny face and wear a goofy poofy hat that takes up lots of space. Do you see this goofy poofy hat? It does take up lots of space. And what about this character's funny face? I often feel silly, and so this page really connects with me. I'm wondering if sometimes you feel silly too? Well, if you don't often feel silly, that's okay. But if you'd like to make a silly face right now, I would love to see it. I'll make one too. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Disappointed. The plans were made so long ago for you to visit me today, but now you can't come after all. I'm disappointed we can't play. This character looks really disappointed or let down. It sounds like they were hoping to see someone, maybe play with a friend, and the plans changed or got canceled. Have you ever felt disappointed? Sometimes when I feel disappointed, my eyes look down, my body feels heavy. Sometimes I'm not sure what to do when I feel disappointed. Here's the final page we'll read together. Feelings come and feelings go. I never know what they'll be. Silly or angry, happy or sad. They're all a part of me. All of these different feelings, and many more, are a part of all of us. And we may feel a lot of different feelings, even throughout one day or throughout 1 hour. But the amazing thing about feelings is as we get to know them and we name them, we can actually get more comfortable with them. So we'll be doing some of that work together. I hope you enjoyed a sneak preview of The Way I Feel, and I hope that if you would like to learn more about some feelings, that you check this out from your library. Now, there's one final thing I'd like to do with you before we say goodbye, and it is something called a mindful moment. The word mindful means to be present and aware of what you are feeling and what is happening right in front of you. And so we can practice being mindful in a number of different ways. We can practice being mindful by using our 5 senses. Do you know what your 5 senses are? I'll give you a hint. Seeing, listening, smelling, tasting, and touching. We can also practice being mindful by moving our body. And part of that is related to touching or feeling. And so I thought we can practice being mindful today by stretching. Now, this stretch is called the sprinkler. And I thought this would be a great one because where I am, it is still sunny and warm, and a lovely way to cool down is to run through a sprinkler. And this one is called the sprinkler because our body will make some shapes and motions that look or feel like a sprinkler. You can do this one sitting down or standing up. I'm going to do it standing up. Please do it however is comfortable for you. Start by putting your hands on your hips. We're going to take a big breath in, fill our belly, and turn to one side. I'm going to turn to the left first. Let's breathe in. We'll pause here, and then breathe out as we go to the center. Let's do that again, but we'll twist and turn the other way. Breathe in a big breath. Pause, and breathe out. Let's do it again on the other side. Breathe in. Pause. And breathe out. One more. Breathe in. Pause. And breathe out. Thank you so much for taking that mindful moment with me. I am so glad you joined me today, and I hope you make it a great rest of the day. See you next time.